We are talking NASCAR, obviously. Today's video breaks down two interesting topics, the Bubba Wallace situation going on, as well as the new aero package for the Cup Series down in Daytona in less than a month, 2 weeks or so. Let's start off with the Bubba Wallace news because that has been dominating the headlines. It's been dominating what has come out of Atlanta, and rightfully so because, well, it's a big freaking deal. Bubba Wallace obviously was penalized on the final lap of this past Sunday's Atlanta race at EchoPark Speedway, Atlanta, if you will, hot Atlanta. And it all came down to he was originally finishing third, and because of the penalty, he finished 29th. Obviously, on the backstretch, he had basically got a hell of a run, dive bombed everyone, and was going to make the pass. Now, to his credit, he was pedaling. Hell, he could have even braked. And he did not exceed position. Okay, he didn't gain a position because of it. He actually maintained his position. Regardless, NASCAR has had the out of bounds line, out of bounds rule for 20, 30 years at this point for safety at super speedways. You can't go down below the yellow line or the white line at 2 mile racetracks, right? Like most people know this if you're a NASCAR fan. And so it was in the heat of the moment. He was going for the win. What do? He handled it actually in the best way possible. So NASCAR spoke about this on the Holler Talk. And basically they determined that the move resulted in momentum. And because of that, you can't do it. Like they're not going away from their rule just because he didn't win the race or just because he didn't, gain a position, right? Technically, they're 2 wide, 3 wide at that point. So it's, you got to frame it down and try to pinpoint everything. I understand their position. It's a rule. You know the rule. I know the rule. 2311 knows the rule. Bubba Wallace's mama knows the rule. Everybody knows the damn rule. If you are in a situation, and we've seen this, where you are on the last lap or you're racing or whatnot, and you are forced below the line, should you be penalized for that? Not if you don't gain a position. If you gain a position, sure, you get penalized. But if you don't gain a position, well, the dude, he shoved you down below the yellow line. What are you supposed to do? Wreck him? Cause a big ass wreck? No. So I think that's the way that NASCAR looked at it of look, could we make an example or a exception for you? Sure. Are we? No. So that's what they're doing. I don't blame them one bit. Okay. Shifting gears. NASCAR, there was rumblings earlier this week. NASCAR is going to announce a new aero package for the Daytona race in August. Night race. Okay, Saturday Night Delight. Now, they've introduced an updated aero and engine package for the Cup Series race coming up. And the idea is to promote better passing, which I think we're all in agreement. Hey, let's do that. Now, this new package reduces the rear spoiler from 7 inches to 4 inches. Okay, so you have a shorter spoiler with the idea that it doesn't have as much drag in the draft or single car, right? Not as much air going over this thing. That's good. They're also going to be using wider splitters, and they're also going to reduce the engine horsepower from 500 to 465. Okay. It will increase single car speeds from 2 miles per hour to 3 miles per hour, but it will also keep speeds safer. Okay. It all comes down to trying to reduce the drag to prevent fuel mileage racing. Okay, let's start there. Will it prevent teams from saving fuel? No. There is no rule in terms of aero, in terms of engine, in terms of car design that is going to stop teams from fuel saving. It's here. The only way you can do that is by either incorporating some type of gimmick where you're like eliminating cars by, position last to first. Okay, we've seen that in video games. It's not going to happen, obviously. And if it does, that would be a really dumb idea. You could do something with stage racing. You could, maybe you mess around with the laps. I don't know. But there are certain situations where teams will come up with something that changes the sport forever. This is one of them. Now, this is a difference between fuel saving and actual on-track performance, on-track product. You do have an issue with teams trying to go out there and save fuel. I don't think you can necessarily fix that. What you can fix is the on-track product. Can you create opportunities where you can pass? And that is where the engine does come up, because the less horsepower you have, the more combined you are with cars, in my opinion. Closer racing. This is something that we saw with the last gen car. This is something that we've seen at super speedways in the past, where you are closer together, right? Everyone remembers the lower horsepower era, the lower horsepower package that they ran for the All-Star race several years ago in Charlotte, where they were literally drafting at this damn track. So you can see something that's a little bit different. I'm curious to see how much of a difference you're going to be able to see with this package. I don't think we are going to come out of Daytona with the mentality of, oh my gosh, it changed the racing. This is so much better. It's night and day. It's black and white. I don't think that's going to be the case. Could be completely wrong. Don't know. But I am very, very curious to see if that's the case. If it is, great. If it's not, I understand. But I am at least optimistic about it going into this race. I'm hopeful that NASCAR will get it right. I am hopeful that this is a package that will help the fuel mileage saving type racing. I'm hoping that this is going to be a situation where it helps the on-track product. We can get more racing in terms of, are you able, if you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars in front of you, and if you get a hell of a run on the top side, or a hell of a run in the middle, or a hell of a run on the bottom, and you have some drafting support with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars, are you able, like we've seen in the Truck Series, in the O'Reilly Series, and in years past with the Cup Series, where you're able to get these mega runs? If you are, sign me up, right? Let me know in the comments there below, what do you guys think about this?